guys, so you like my new intro? Yeah, you know you do. Don't lie. Okay. So I have a PO battle here for you today. Versus Little Dave 16 is his YouTube name, aka Chromium, on the actual battle simulator. So let's get started. He sends out his Politoed, and I send out Espeon, and I have Light Screen, and he burns me with Scald, and I'm like, no! And then I set up Reflect, and he goes for another Scald, and I'm like dying here. So I basically just go for my last turn with Espeon and hit him with a Psychic. Oh no, wait, not my last turn. But, well, that pretty much was, because he stalls with Protect, so I die to burn. Now I send in Scizor here, and he switches, and I set up a Swords Dance, and I'm like, yes, at this part. Because I use Bug Bite, and then I get a crit and take him out, and I'm like, yes! So now he sends in a Gliscor, and I go for another Swords Dance, because I know these things are bulky. So I break his sub with a +4 stab Bullet Punch. And so he protects, and he's stalling me so he can get more HP. Now he's back to full, and I go for a Bullet Punch, and I bring him down to about 20% by the time he gets recovery. Or no, 27%. Now I send in Heat Trance to go for the HP Ice, but he predicts that and goes for a Protect. I'm like, no! And then he switches out into his Haxorachie, as I like to call it, and it takes that HP Ice like a boss and subs when I go for the Fire Blast and break that sub easily. And now he predicts another Fire Blast while I go for an Earth Power and get a crit on his Politoed. I'm like, okay, that's alright. And so Politoed's here and he protects. I go for another Earth Power and it barely lives, and I don't die to Scald, and I don't get burned, so pretty cool. And I don't get what the point of protecting is, like PP stallers and me. So now he switches into Hydreigon and I can't hit him with the Earth Power, so I hit him with the HP Ice. And the sub breaks, and now Heatran goes down due to Surf. Now I send in Haxorus, and this is where stuff gets real. I set up one Dragon Dance, and I go for an Earthquake, and do more than half, and while he sets up a Swords Dance, and then goes for a Bullet Punch, and I'm surviving with about 30%. I kill that Gliscor, and then, Scizor, and he brings in Gliscor, and I go for an Outrage, he protects, he switches out now into his Jirachi, and I bring the Jirachi down to low health, kill it out, take it out with another Outrage, and yeah, so Gliscor's just gonna Toxic Stall, or in my case, in Heal Stall, whatever. Now I go for another Outrage and then take it out, and then I go for another Outrage and take out that Politoed. So now, since I haven't gone to Fatigue yet, he sends in a Hydreigon, and then I kill it with an Outrage, so yay, I win. So, okay, let me load another replay up, hold on. Okay, I'm back. By the way, when I was facing Chromium, we were on the Battle Pyramid server on PO, so yeah, okay, check it out. Now, again, from the Battle Pyramid server, L-Man, who's in the clan Hero, here we go. He sends in his Abomasnow, who I set up a Light Screen on, and then he switches into Levany, and I go for the HP Fire, and he did not know I carry that, and I go for the HP Fire here again, and then he starts to set up, and here I get a little bit worried, because I'm like, oh no, I don't want a Ridiculous Sweep. So I send in Scizor, and I think I set up a Swords Dance? I don't know. I don't remember. No, I just go straight for the Bug Bite and one-hit KO it. And now here he sends in his Frost Sash. I'm like, no! And I go for a Sword Dance. And I thought the Destiny Bond wore off, so I go for the straight-out Bullet Punch. And then I'm like, no, Scizor, no, don't go. And I send Espeon back in due to the fact that I'm gonna need to set up screens again in a minute. So he switches out into Fortress, and I use HP Fire and take it out in 2 hits. I think he wanted to Death Water it in the first place. Now I set up Light Screen again, and he goes for the Shadow Ball, doing a decent chunk. I go for the HP Fire, and he barely lives, and I got a crit, so yeah, and he gets that crit back on me with Frost Breath. So yeah, I trick with the Glaceon with Rotom W, and then he's locked into Wish, so he switches into Abomasnow, and I go for the Volt Switch, and I'm like, no, don't switch, I wanted to kill that stupid thing. And here I send in Terrakion, and I one-hit KO that Abomasnow. The Wish should totally not work much. And then here I just finish off his team with a close combat. So, yeah, GG, man. Let me load up another one since that one was so short. Hold on. Okay, so here I go up against a Shofu imposter on the Treehouse server. Check it out, it's pretty cool. Here we go. I send in my Machamp, and he leads with Darmanitan. He goes for the U-turn, breaks my sash. I'm like, crap. And then, so he goes into an Espeon. I go for a Dynamic Punch and confuse it, because I always love doing that. And then he hits himself, and I go straight for the payback and kill it off. And now he goes into Ambipom and protects, and I'm surprised he didn't go for the Fake Out. Who doesn't go for a Fake Out on Ambipom? So I go for the Dynamic Punch here and one-hit KO his Tyranitar, and now he switches back into Darmanitan and finishes me off with a Flare Blitz. Now I send in Latios and go for a Surf and finish off the Darmanitan, and he's just raging at this point. Well, not like the original Shofu would, but like a lot less. And so I switch into Rotom W, and he sets up rocks and one layer of spikes. I'm like, no, crap, not good. So I Will-O-Wisp it, and he keeps setting up spikes, and then I almost kill the Skarmory with the Volt Switch, but it dies this turn due to a Psyshock. So yeah. Now he sends in Ambipom, and I just get that thing down to low with Psyshock, and he goes for a Thunderbolt, and I'm like, this obviously isn't the real Shofu, because Ambipom would never carry Thunderbolt, and he would never protect instead of Fake Out, like seriously. Okay. So, yeah. I Psyshock, and then I finish it off. So, now he's in Swampert, and I'm basically Death Watering my Latios at this point. But I survived, and if only there wasn't Sandstorm, I probably could have won the game with this. But now he Rage Quits. Really didn't matter. Anyways, I would have won anyways. So I'm going to load up another one. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. And now I have this is the last battle. I have a battle with the original owner of the Area 51 server, Reckless Asian here. So let's get started. It's pretty long, so if my commentary is off a little, you know why. He sends in his Blissey, and I'm using my random Smogon team, well, my random generated team, and I send in my Politoed, who I named Choice Scarf for some stupid reason. And then, yeah, I send in my Rain Abuser, Tornadus, and go for the Hurricane, expecting it to do a lot. I'm like, why didn't it do a lot? But then I realized something. I'm like, oh no, it's a special move. And then here, I send in my Whiscash, because people were recommending Whiscash for a rain team. And so, I go for one Dragonite and flinch it with a Waterfall and kill it off with the next Waterfall. And here I either rest or do something else. No, I go for a EQ actually, and then he goes for a Curse. I'm like, oh crap. So I think I rest up here. Oh no, I just go for another Earthquake. Okay, and he goes for the Recover, and I'm like, oh. So here I go for the rest, and my Hydration pretty much heals me up. So you get it. And so he keeps quaking, and I'm basically not doing anything. to this Quagsire at the moment, so I better get something together. I go for another quick and do half of what I did the first time. And now here I think I just go for a waterfall. I don't know. Yeah, I go for a waterfall. Do about the same thing. He's setting up curses like crazy and I'm like, oh no. Now I go for another waterfall and do about 5% less than I did earlier. And now he just basically healed that off. Or back. And now he goes for the recover and I'm like, Star Wars, please don't happen. And so we basically just stall each other out. And now I'm like thinking Quagsire sweep. Oh crap. But then I go for a hurricane and take out that Quagsire. I'm like, why didn't I do this earlier? Now I send in my Eye Absorb Rain Toxicroak. And I'm getting ready to set up a sub, which I do, but it really bites me in the back. Okay, I start going for bulk ups here so I can automatically kill this thing. And he breaks my sub with the Stone Edge, and I really don't care at this point because I can seriously just go for a Drain Punch and heal off that damage. Or what damage was supposed to happen. So basically he scalds me and my dry skin heals myself back up to full, but I go for another sub so I can set up more bulk ups. So that is what I do here. I set up another bulk up. And I'm thinking he's gonna Psychic or something, so I go for a Sucker Punch. And it fails, and he goes for a taunt, and I'm like, oh no, he knows I'm going to go for a Sucker Punch. So I basically just hit him with the Sucker Punch this turn. And then he switches out into Tyranitar, and I don't do anything, and I go for a Drain Punch here, and he basically foddered his Tyranitar because I just healed myself back up to full thanks to him. Now my taunt's over, and I go for the Sucker Punch, and it fails again. He goes for the taunt, and I know it probably will die if it didn't have the leftovers like it, and I'm like, okay, so here we go. He goes for the Icy Wind, and I go for the Drain Punch. He resists it, you know, all this stuffs. I think the battle ends short, whatever. Yeah. So basically, I think he rage quits in a minute. Sends in Jellicent. I go for the Sucker Punch, finish it off. Oh no, he didn't. And then he just sends in his Blissey Hool, which I kill off with the Drain Punch. So yeah, that was a GGRA. So yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you enjoyed these PO battles. Thanks for watching. Summer Season 2011 signing out.